Hello everyone, my name is SmoLCatzZ and welcome back to Superflat Survival. Guys, I finally did it. I finally got spruce. And if you want to see the clip of me actually reacting to getting spruce saplings from the Wandering Trader finally, it's right up next. After AFKing for over 70 hours for Wandering Traders, it's finally happened. The time is here, everyone. The time we've all been waiting for, the most important spruce sapling is here. Ah! Wait, where is he? Here! Spruce! And other stuff. I mean, yeah, cool, but like, spruce! My beloved spruce. Finally! It's here! But I am so excited to finally have the last of the wood types that we need to complete all of our wood types on the Superflat world. It has been almost a year since we started on this Superflat, and we finally just got spruce, which is one of like the most widely used wood types of all of them, and we haven't had it for a full year. It's been really fun not having it on some level because we've had to branch out and try new things and use pallets that I wouldn't normally. I've used a lot of jungle, a lot of birch, things that I don't normally use. But now that we have our spruce, we can actually really get into building our castle because I wanted to use spruce in so many of the decorations. You know, castles to me have very warm textures, especially kind of a medieval castle. So I'm so excited to get started today. Let's get going. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Ah! So excited. I'm so excited. I don't think I've ever been so excited for a virtual tree in my whole life. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. It's perfection. Or please give me that log. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at it. Oh, I love him. I'm gonna do a lot of chopping, and then we're gonna go back to our castle. Just don't mind me. I got a lot of trees to chop down, just for no reason. You know, no reason. It's just I'm not over here like fangirling about a sapling. It's fine. It's totally fine. You might be wondering, Smol, what are you doing? And the answer is, I don't know. My best. So, after chopping trees for a while, I have kind of remembered that I hate manually chopping trees, and I'm really, like so many relays, wishing I had a tree farm. One of the problems with tree farms is that a lot of the tree farms that don't use scaffolding are basically not good for all the tree types. Now, there's one tree farm that is sort of like the pinnacle of tree farms in terms of easy to build, minimal resources, and it can do all the different types of tree farms, which is Ianxofour's Versitile tree farm. Now, that requires scaffolding, but there is a note on his video that explains how to build this if you're in a Superflat world. So I think what we want to do is wait for these leaves to despawn, and then I'm going to load up the schematic I got from his YouTube video, and we're going to see in a creative test world if I can really quick make it so that it runs without the scaffolding, and if that's the case, then we're going to try to build it. Because I hate manually farming trees. I lasted about 15 minutes doing this before I remembered how boring it was. So, let's get started. So this is my creative test world, and this is Ianxofour's tree farm, which, as you can see, uses a lot... Okay, that was annoying. A lot of scaffolding. And basically, what happens down here is you're gonna flip this lever to turn this guy on, which, hopefully, because I pasted this into the world, and you can see, whoop, the signal goes up, and it should start duping TNT. And it's gonna be, yep, very loud. Let's just turn that way down. And it's duping TNT. And this lever is just going bloop, 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 over and over and over. Now my question is, could we use something else to basically accomplish the same task? So, like, I'm wondering, can I remove this portion here and just, like, skip this whole thing? They're facing this way. I'm not really a redstoner, just by the way, so bear with me. So he said to put an observer on his video in front of the trapdoor. Or sorry, put a trapdoor in front of the observer, which means here. Which that probably just duped the TNT. It did. I need this out of my way. So there's a trapdoor now. Okay, so the the speed at which this happens is very important, as it turns out. Let's go try that again. Oops. After like an hour of fiddling with this, because I'm not a redstoner, I think I've got the clock set up right, and this is currently toggled like that, which I think is fine, I hope. And I've reset all this, so if I flip this switch, it should start duping TNT properly. It does! Oh my goodness, that's actually so exciting. So if I wanted to run this farm, just turn that off. Oh, that's actually super cool. Ooh. Okay, didn't break anything. Oh, okay. So I don't need any of this. And then I can also delete all of this nonsense down here, because I don't need that. This is our new and improved farm. Now, one thing really quick, because we do need to be able to get up here. Get a block. And I can use something else to like get myself up here, right? Like I can get up to the top of the elytra. So basically the only thing I turn on down here is the actual like collection mechanism, and then everything is run up here. So if I flip this switch on again, it starts duping, and then if I wanted to, I could turn the nudger on, and that's for the taller trees. Which I actually don't think the nudger is working right now, but that's fine. That can be another day's problem. So here's what I'll do. I'm gonna take this, ooh, scary. I'm gonna take this updated schematic and copy it, make a new one, and we can put it over into the Superflat world. All right, here's our schematic all placed, and I've set it basically so that oh, I'm sinking into the ground. I've basically set it so that this is as low down in the world as it can go. There's only a couple layers of dirt underneath this level. So now we just have to get our materials. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lock this schematic, and we're gonna pull a material list, and we're gonna ignore the dirt and the grass. And we'll just get some extra smooth stone and get a chest full of all of these items, and we should be good to go. Easy peasy. All right, here is all of our materials. It's actually super simple. And then I have a shulker box of bone blocks, some spruce saplings, and some building blocks just for scaffolding kind of purposes of getting up to there. So we're going to get started on this build. Enjoy the little time lapse. All right, after that quick time lapse, it's done. So this is the bottom portion, which is where we're actually going to grow the trees and where the explosions are going to take place. It's going to collect our items, and way up there is the portion that dupes the TNT and the clock, both of which work great. And we can really quick test them just to show you that it is working. Basically, in order to use the farm, I have to fly up here because, again, no scaffolding. Oop. I flip this lever. It's going to be very loud. Nope. And off the TNT goes. It lands on that top obsidian, and that's where we grow our trees. And I'm going to turn this off really quick, mostly because the TNT is extremely loud. And then I can go down here, and what we can do is actually load the system with bone meal. So we've got a little system down here that is activated by pressure plates, actually, that will make sure our hand always has bone meal in it. This farm is going to use a ton of bone meal, so one of the things I plan to actually do is run our mob spawner when we're running the tree farm. And by doing that, we're going to be farming bones, and aka bone meal, while we are using up the bone meal. So it's not going to be like a complete replacement system, but it'll be a little bit better than it could be. And hopefully we're not going to completely run the system out of bone meal in the first 10 minutes of me using it. Okay, that should be good. I have to put everything back away. And I guess it's now time for a test run. So the tree sapling is going to go in the offhand, so we can actually place the sapling, and our bone meal is going to go in this hand. One thing to keep in mind is that you want to fill your inventory when you're doing this, except for one slot. So our inventory is going to look something like this. Well, I need one more slot actually to pick this shulker box up. So our inventory is going to look something like this, and bone meal is going to go in this hand. This is so that you don't pick up all of the bone meal out of the system while you're running it, and basically like empty the system into your inventory every time. It's just a little protection against that. And if you have a ton of saplings after running the system, what you can actually do is go up here and you fill this guy with saplings, and you'll turn this on, you turn this switch on, and basically both of these are going to drop you bone meal and saplings as you need them, and they're just going to refill your inventory. The other thing is that the item collection actually comes up under this carpet right here. So if there are saplings going through this and you don't have enough saplings in your inventory, it will fill up your offhand with a full stack. So you literally can just sit here as long as you have bone meal and run this as long as you need to. Okay, so I've turned our block sounds off, which is the sound that the TNT makes when it's exploding. That is considered a block sound. So we're going to turn our duper on. And there it goes. Beautiful. We're going to fly down here and flip this lever. So as you can see, it's going to start feeding me bone meal. And then I'm literally just holding right click and it starts duping, which is super cool. And we're basically farming spruce. It is going to take a minute for the system to equalize and start getting more saplings than it's using. So don't be worried. The only tree that I would be concerned doing this is jungle, because jungle don't drop as many saplings as normal trees like an oak or a cherry or a spruce. So you might want to make sure that you stock up on jungle saplings before you use it in this farm. But this farm works for all of the spruce trees. It works for the nether mushrooms. I'm sorry. This farm works for all of the different types of wood, as well as the nether mushrooms. It is probably one of the coolest tree farms I've ever seen. It was super simple to build. It does not require that many resources. Honestly, I think Ianxofour is quite possibly one of the best farm designers that I've ever seen. It's a great farm. Highly recommend. Oh, look, we have 41 spruce saplings already, and we're farming away. So I'm going to sit here in AFK. I'm going to get a whole bunch of logs. I love spruce. It's my favorite. So we'll be back in a little bit. So after running the farm for about a minute, this is how much we have in this chest, as well as some in here. There's nothing in here yet, but it's because these hoppers weren't full, so everything just went into the first 2 chests. But this is a lot for a minute of tree farming, basically. Maybe 2 minutes. It was not a very long session. I'm super happy with that. I mean, you were getting sticks and all kinds of stuff. The dirt is actually from the extra dirt block I had back there, which we didn't need. But a super, super great farm. Really happy with it. I mean, this is way more spruce logs than I would have gotten in a minute of manual farming for sure. So I'm sure we're going to be getting a ton of use out of this farm. And if you're using this, just run around the outside right before you leave and just double check that there's not like items sitting everywhere. This farm does have a habit of like having random items not make it into the water stream. It's not completely lossless, but hey, it's an excellent farm, so very happy with that. Alright, so I've been running this farm with all of our different saplings that we can run, and I have lots and lots of the different wood types. There's a little bit of stuff in this one, but this farm has been working amazingly for us. Honestly, it's an excellent farm. It does not require that many materials, it doesn't take that long, and it's easy to build. The video is really easy to follow, and there is a Lightmatica schematic for it if you're concerned. So I recommend building this modified version for your Superflat world. You can just take Ianxofour's Lightmatica schematic and change it like I did. Easy peasy, and you have a wonderful tree farm. So I think this is where we're going to call it here today. Somehow this episode ended up being 20 minutes of me fiddling with trees, but hey, we had a great time. We built ourselves a really useful farm, and I don't have to sit there and manually chop trees anymore, which I'm very happy about. So thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel out. Thank you so much again. I have been SmoLCatzZ. Have a great night.